Welcome to the Stories of Starting podcast. I'm Heather Boyd. As a self-employed artist for the last 30 years, I'm fascinated with people's passions and creative projects. In this series, we discover how people like you have started new projects by thinking outside the box, going with the flow, and tapping into their childhood imagination. So hey everybody, today we're here with my friend Tania Mignacca, and she has a special guest with us. This is Ponto. Okay, so Tania, could you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, so my name is Tania and I'm a Montreal comic artist. And actually Ponto is the main character of my webcomic. And it's the story of little traffic cones who come to work in Montreal.
Nice. That is so cool. And I wanted to have Tania on the show now because Tania has a special thing happening in a week, which is her book launch. So Tania, could you tell us a little bit about your book and the launch?
Yeah, it's been a long time that people were asking me, oh, you should make a book, you should make a book. So it's finally here.
Yay!
So this is Ponto's first book. Wow. It has about half of the webcomic, 150 pages.
Wow.
And an extra bonus story of 20 pages. Wow. And next week we're gonna do the book launch at MR63 project in Griffintown. So it's gonna be on Monday, the 9th.
That's amazing. And it's a really cool venue. I remember we had talked about where you were going to hold the launch, and you decided to have it. And is it actually in a Montreal Metro car?
Yeah, they actually have two Montreal Metro cars.
Okay.
And one of them is like, I'd say it's like a bar/cafe metro.
Okay.
And the other one is another metro car where they host a lot of events like concerts and workshops and a lot of artistic and cultural stuff and local businesses.
That is so cool. It's interesting because we were in Ottawa a little while ago and we had actually seen an installation. An artist had done this installation of metro doors, and I don't know if you've heard of it, but you could actually walk through a series of a dozen of these metro doors, and it was sensitive to movement, and so as you would walk a step forward, the metro car door would open and close.
Wow.
It was really cool. So they're doing a lot of interesting things with the old metro, and of course the Montreal Metro has a special place in your heart because Ponto is all about adventures, urban adventures in Montreal. Yes. That is so cool.
He also takes the metro.
Awesome. Yes, I think I have a few pictures, selfies in different places with you in Ponto, which is super cool. And I'm going to just backtrack a little bit to tell people about how we met.
Okay.
So originally we met at a Creator HQ event a little while back. I actually don't even remember which event it was.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, because it's been a while and we've seen each other at a lot of events. And I just thought it was fascinating what you were doing and how you kind of created this character and just went full on in with it, and the whole branding of it, everything about it is so interesting and fun.
Thank you.
Oh, I just love it. And I remember at one point I made you some little earrings with the little ponchos.
They're so cute.
Yeah, with the little orange and white beads.
And the little faces.
And the little faces. Yeah, that was tricky because I wanted to do little faces, but you can't. It's really hard to capture the expression, Ponto's beautiful expression. So I ended up photographing it, shrinking it down, and photo transferring it onto the tiny little beads. So it was like this teeny little face, which was really cool. But
it's so cute. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. And I'm so excited to see the book. And you must feel so good having this project finished.
Yeah, finally. It took a bit more time than expected because I did a crowdfunding campaign.
Yes.
In October, and at the same time I want to thank everyone who supported the project. It was amazing. A lot more than I expected, so I'm super happy and everyone is so excited to get the book finally. But yeah, a lot of things in life, it took a bit more time than expected. Some things
Yeah.
were a bit more complicated or
Yeah.
didn't work the way, but in the end, now I have the book, so it all worked out.
That's
I'm
amazing.
so happy.
That's such a great idea with the crowdfunding. I'm so
Mm-hmm.
happy it was a big success, and it gets really people on board. And
Yeah.
I remember I was really happy to be a part of it, and it's like you're a part of this communal project, really,
Mm-hmm.
which is interesting.
Because I think it's hard as an artist sometimes, like especially for a book, the printing cost is quite expensive.
Yes.
So it's hard to do it by yourself. Like you
Yeah.
need the help from your fans and your readers to be able to do it. And most
Yeah.
people, when they love your work,
Yes.
they're gonna want to support it. So I think crowdfunding is a really amazing thing.
Oh, that's fantastic. And have you actually done collaborations with the city of Montreal?
Yeah, I actually did a few. So one I did a few years ago was with the Southwest Borough.
Okay.
They were renovating a part of Notre Dame Street.
Oh,
So
yes.
we did a campaign called La Dame se refait une beauté.
Oh,
so I
okay.
created like a character based on the street, which was like a little cute old lady
Oh,
getting a
cute.
makeover. And then you had stories with Ponto explaining what was going on during the
amazing.
construction. And like people really loved it. They still talk to me about it today, and
Yeah.
like it was really nice to work with the city, because at
Yes.
first I was expecting, oh, maybe they're gonna be strict about
Yeah.
certain things, but no, they had really great ideas, and they gave me a
Wow.
lot of freedom, so it was a fun experience.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, collaborations are so great.
Yeah.
And the whole idea of bringing humor to the whole Montreal construction situation, because all you hear is people complaining about it. But when
Yeah.
you introduce a character like this and bring a sense of humor, it's just a wonderful thing. I love it. Yeah, and I notice on your fan page that people actually take photos of themselves all around the world with Ponto. So tell us a little bit about that.
So this is something a bit unexpected, because I mean, when I started doing Ponto, I made social media accounts for my character.
Yes.
But I was mostly posting drawings and like generic orange cone stuff about Montreal.
Okay.
But one time my friend made a plushie like this for me, just to use as a display.
Yes.
And people were like, oh, like I want to have a plushie too. So I started making them.
Cute.
And people who were buying them, it was to travel with the plushie.
Yes.
So they bring Ponto on their vacation, and then
Oh,
they send me
wow.
photos of Ponto around the world, making friends,
Oh
and
my
like
gosh.
it's just so magical.
I love that. That's so wonderful. Yeah, there's a real sort of thing on Instagram where people take, be it plushies or Lego toys or like my daughter does dolls or all kinds of things. And the idea of bringing this inanimate object into a different environment and really brings the character to life, which is so cool. And I love how you bring a Ponto everywhere and get shots with
Yeah, now I
Ponto
have no
everywhere.
choice. He comes everywhere
Exactly.
with me.
Exactly. That's fantastic. So can you tell us a little bit about your origin story? Like, how in the world did this begin?
I'll try to make it like a short
A short
story.
story. I'm sure it's a long
it can
story.
be long, but
yeah.
yeah, so I've been drawing since I was a kid, and like I was always really interested in Japanese culture and anime and manga. So this is one of my biggest influence.
Yes.
But also as I grew up, I mean, I was born in Montreal and I went to school in Montreal, but to me, Montreal was just like a big city. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't interesting. It was downtown, the
Okay.
Chinatown, and
Okay.
like where my school was in Montréal Nord. And
Yeah.
so to me, like I didn't see the beauty of Montreal. But when I moved back, I moved to Saint-Henri during
Okay.
university,
Okay.
and also I felt the neighborhood was so nice with old industrial buildings, and so I was like, wow, Montreal is so amazing.
Yes.
And at the same time at Concordia, I took a class of it was Montreal urbanism and architecture,
Okay.
and every course we would go and explore a neighborhood in Montreal.
Cool.
So I was like, oh my god, I love Montreal now, and like I
Amazing.
learned so much about it. So I started incorporating that in my illustration work.
Okay. Yeah.
And so as time went by, I worked as as a graphic designer for a little bit, and
Okay.
then I decided I wanted to do freelance illustration.
Yes.
So I quit my job, and then I started doing a little exhibition.
Okay.
But like I remember one time, yeah, I had like mostly big paintings and
Yeah.
big pieces to sell, so I wanted to make something that was very small.
Okay.
That,
Yeah.
you know, people could support me
Yeah.
easily. So I made these little buttons, and I
Okay.
drew a cute character. I was like, oh, like what character could represent Montreal? So
Oh,
I did a
wow.
really cute traffic cone. I actually made a sketch a long time
Oh
ago of
my
a cute traffic
gosh.
cone.
How
So I reused
cool.
it, and then it was like instantly
Yeah.
people were just like, oh, it's so
They
cute,
just
it's from
loved
Montreal.
it.
So since I always wanted to do comics, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I should build a story around the character.
Oh my
So then
goodness.
slowly I started building the Ponto story, and
Wow.
yeah, I started posting it online, and
Yeah.
gradually people became more interested, and
Wow.
now he's like a Montreal's unofficial mascot.
That's incredible. I didn't actually know that story, so I think that's so amazing. And it's interesting because when I first came to Montreal, the first thing I did when I arrived here is I got a permit to sell on the street, to sell jewelry on the street, but it wasn't even jewelry. I was actually selling badges. But not with that type of like illustration. It was just like very abstract, hand painted badges. So I find it so interesting how the people I meet have parallels and things in common with. And certainly I have a huge heart for Montreal. I just when I moved here, I never looked back. I just love it. Yeah, it's amazing. And at one point, did you tell me you actually lived in Japan?
No, I
never-
traveled there a few
you
times.
traveled,
Yeah.
okay, because you really like that anime
Yeah,
type of
and
thing.
I mean, I like everything about the culture.
Yes.
Like, it's always been, since I was really little, I was like, oh, I have to go to Japan one day. And actually,
Interesting.
well, Ponto is, like, I mean, I came up with my own style
Yes.
with time, but Ponto is inspired by, in Japan, they have a lot of mascots, which
Okay.
are called Yuru-chara.
Okay.
So a Yuru-chara is like each city has their own.
Oh, how interesting.
Like a cute little mascot for the city, and like
Yes.
every year they have this competition where all the mascots compete together, and the
wow.
favorite one wins. And I mean, it's good for the tourism for the
Yes.
region, and how people are attached to their home. And
Yes.
so to me it was like, okay, what if Montreal had a cute little mascot? Like,
Yeah.
what would it be? So
I
that's why he
love
has like the
it.
little kawaii face
Yes.
type of thing. And
Yeah, it's really a really unique expression. It's so cute, and you could definitely feel that kind of anime type of vibe in the character. I just love it. And is there anything else you'd like to tell us about current projects, or what do you see for the future? You've done your book now, so you're going
yeah.
to keep on with its weekly.
Yeah, the
comics?
weekly webcomic still continues. I have, well, now there's a book launch next Monday, but I'm going to have a
Yes.
few events as well.
Okay.
I'm going to be at Papier Marché next weekend, which is
Okay.
like I think it's a new event.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know that one.
It's like an event for like small press, and also
Oh,
everyone who does
nice.
printed stuff.
Cool.
And I'm also going to be at Mini Comic Con.
Nice.
So yeah, the
that's
events
fun.
keep going, and
Yeah.
I'm planning to develop new merchandise for
Okay.
Ponto, like new products. And
Cool. I'm
Yeah.
sure there's a lot of people who want a little mini Ponto
Yeah, I
now.
know.
Like, this size is nice, but also like a
yeah,
little
the mini
cutie
one, I have to
would be
think of a way
great.
to make them not too expensive.
Exactly.
That's always the issue.
That's the thing. And so for now, where can we find you online?
Well, I'm on Facebook,
Okay.
so it's Ponto Montreal, and Instagram and Twitter, it's at Ponto_MTL.
Okay.
And also, well, my website, which is pontomontreal.com.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Well, thanks so much,
Thank you
Tania,
so
for
much. It
coming
was nice.
on the podcast. And we'll look forward to more Ponto adventures in
Yes.
Montreal and beyond.
Yay!
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye!
Thanks so much for tuning in to Stories of Starting. Until next time, always remember, your story matters.